everything subjective? Are there any standards for women these days, or is everything all good?
I feel like there is standards.
Where do you live?
I live in Virginia.
Okay. What part of Virginia?
I'm in Richmond.
Okay. Where are you seeing these standards?
Men.
Where are you seeing these standards for women? Where are you seeing them?
I place them on myself.
Okay.
So like for me, I'm in school, like I'm ready to graduate next month actually. So I just feel like you should be educated to a certain extent. That goes a long way. You should just be a hard worker, and you should just have other good qualities about you.
All right. So outside of you though, what about the rest of women?
I feel like all women should have standards.
Really?
Yeah. I feel like everybody should have.
No, they should, or do they?
Oh, I'm not sure about other women, but I feel like they should.
Well, at 24 years old, if you're a college student, you can actually take an observable look around the world and see whether or not. All right. Are you familiar with? Did you know your grandmother?
Mm-hmm.
You ever meet your great grandmother? Huh?
Yeah, I know both of my grandmas.
All right. Do the women today measure up to your grandmother and your great grandmother?
No.
Why? Are they above or below?
I will say in certain categories, they're below and above. So like.
No. Let's remove education and income.
Okay.
The quality of character of the women.
It's below.
Right. So as income and education is increased, what's happened?
Women can do things on their own.
Okay. They can do things on their own, but is it making okay. Is it making you better?
No, I actually don't think it's making us better at all. I will say this, me being 24, I'm single.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally want a family. I want to get married. I want all of that. Although I am educated, I'm ready to move. I'm ready to do things like that.
How many men under 35? How many men under 30 do you think are marriage minded these days?
None of them.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I feel like
really?
I feel like it's the standards, like you mentioned.
Do you have any brothers?
I do. I have an older brother, so I'm the baby.
How old is he?
He is I want to say 36.
36. Only one brother?
I have one brother, and then I have one older sister.
All right. So, see, when it almost gets time for you ladies to tell the truth, and you start skating it. If men around 30 or under don't seem to be marriage minded, I ask you, why do you think it is? And the answer is real simple: because there are no wives. Your grandmother and your great grandmother got married under 30, right?
Yeah.
Were they hot girls, city girls, walking it up?
No, they were not. And I was just talking about that.
So my point is, you may have standards, but by not having standards collectively for women, you all lose. Because men are simple. If you don't have to be a provider as a man or do anything else to get access to sex, all you gotta do is swipe left, swipe right. They'll pass you and go on to the next one.
Very true. Very true.
So,
it's crazy that because I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm going through this right now. I'm at an age where I feel like now is the time for me to start settling down, to start building that foundation for myself with a family. And it has become very hard for me. And it's not fun. And I don't want to be out here doing none of that.
Well, what's the longest relationship you've ever had?
I've actually been on and off with my ex since 7th grade, and I'm 24 now. So that has been a situation.
That's nothing.
Yeah.
It's nothing. 7th grade, puppy love, that's nothing.
I mean, we've still kept the connection up until now. And he's actually mentioned kids and marriage to me before.
How old is he?
He's 24, so we're both 24.
And what does he do for a living?
He actually is in school too, so he's at Norfolk State.
Right, he can't afford a wife and kids.
Yeah.
See?
But I was dating, being on and off with him, I was actually dating a guy. He was 34, so we were 10 years apart. And he could do those things, but it wasn't a good situation. So I feel like age, I'm not opposed to starting.
Hold on. Before we start talking about what are you a wife?
No.
So let's not worry about what the problem is with and without men. Because the question I'm going to ask you are, you want to settle down and be a wife? All right. What qualifies you to do that? Were you taught how to do any of that stuff?
No, I've just seen it in my grandma, for instance. I've seen that.
Kudos for seeing it, but was your mother married?
No.
All right. So I don't know how you young ladies, you see your grandmother and your great grandmother, but you want it, but you're not preparing yourself for it. Because if you were preparing yourself for it, you wouldn't be tolerating a 7th grade on and off again situation.
Yeah.
And then a man who's 34, I mean, this is why a lot of focus you ladies have to put is on yourself, because you may have a standard for yourself, a virtue standard, but what are you doing to prepare yourself to become the wife and mother you say you want to be?
Right. Well, right now, if you're asking me, right now,
I'm asking.
Right now, I've just been working on myself. Like I said, I'm finishing up school. I work.
School has nothing to do with being a wife or a mother.
Well, right now, as far as just being a wife, I wouldn't even say that it's nothing that I'm doing as far as like practicing for that. So
as an educated woman, as an intelligent woman, you expect somebody to just hire you your potential, and you're supposed to do this on-the-job training.
Well, I mean, that's what training is for. So,
no, it's not. No, it's not. See, this is the funny thing about you ladies. The funny thing about you ladies is you expect the men to take that kind of risk. I'm going to marry you on your potential, but you don't date on potential. You date on security. And the answer is, yeah, Kevin. I'm just like so many other women in my generation. I know how to go to school, and I can prepare for taking care of myself. But as far as actually being a wife and a mother, I'm doing absolutely nothing. I can see, even if for you, say you can see your grandmother and your great-grandmother, you're practically doing nothing because you expect a man to accept you as you are. And I got news for all you young ladies. That's not good enough. That's why men, that's a big reason why men under 30 aren't looking at you guys as wives, because they're like, what am I getting? I know how to deal with you now. I know how to date you and have sex with you. Yeah. That's all that's required.
But I feel like also men under 30 don't want marriage. You got to understand, my generation, these guys don't want to get married.
It doesn't matter. See, the problem is men under 30. The problem is you ladies aren't wives. That's the problem.
So for my question for you is, how could I be wise moving forward?
Well, how are you learning from your mother and your grandmother? How are you learning from your grandmother and your great-grandmother? What have you learned from them? Who have you asked? What women have you asked? Teach me how to be a wife.
Yeah.
Anybody?
I mean, me and my mom talk about it, but it's different because she's not married. And I would talk about it more with my grandma, but actually both of my grandmas are sick right now, so that is definitely not a conversation. But unfortunately, they're alive. But
ultimately, the point is this: your mother's generation, the women from baby boomers and Generation X down did not prepare you women for anything other than being independent.
Very true.
And that's why you would buy a dog and die alone.
Yeah.
Because it is unreasonable to expect a man to go out and accept a woman on her potential. And the thing is, you're maybe too mature for the guys your age, but you're too immature for the men who are looking for wives.
Yeah.
The men who are looking for wives need to bypass you because you're not that. So the standard, the standard of becoming fit is on you women. It's on all of you to become fit for what it is you say you want, not just somebody take me as I am because I'm a nice person and I can learn. Absolutely not. The pressure needs to be firmly on you ladies to become wives, if that's what you want.
So how do you feel about like a woman that's willing to compromise and grow and evolve when dealing with a man?
It's still on the job. A man still has to, that means a man still has to accept you below standard. They're bringing nothing to the table except an ability to learn. What does that get you in an open market? In an open market, what does that level of skill get you? It gets you minimum wage. I don't know anything, but I'm willing to learn and work hard. Go wash those dishes. Go sweep that floor. Go pick up that trash. They don't throw you on a computer terminal or give you the accounting software.
Right.
But women today don't look at relationships like that. You look at men as though I got a job, I'm educated, I can pay my rent, this and that, and that's fine for sex and date and hooking up. But for a man to put a ring on your finger and decide to make you the mother of his children, did you watch the video that went viral on World Star with those two 23-year-old women?
I don't really look at World Star.
Well, it was on my YouTube channel. And unfortunately, young ladies, y'all gonna have to realize that men are saying, what am I getting? Because even if a man was a husband looking for a wife, he would need to get just like you would want the best deal you could get, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but if I love them, I'm willing. You get what I'm saying?
I get that you ladies think love matters, and that's cute, but it don't matter. See, you gotta love a man to be willing to do what you already should know. Say it again. You gotta love a man to be willing to do what you should already know. What your grandmother and your great-grandmother already knew. A man has to take you, deal with you. You gotta fall in love with him. That means not a good deal. And see, this hasn't been told to women. So where you're honestly thinking the problem is with men, and the problem is not with men. Today's problem is with women.
I don't think it's just with us though.
Well,
Kevin, not all of us. And I'm saying this from
so that's how we got started. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, when I said that's why I said it's always subjective.
Yeah.
It's always subjective, and then we'll get into no walls. Not all women are like that.
Yeah.
Two ultimate defense fallback positions. All women aren't like that, and everything is subjective. That's where you fall back to when you have no winning argument. It's the Hail Mary. It's supposed to stop everything. And I keep pushing on through. Nope. Now, if this was a problem with education, if you wanted to have a certain standard of living and make a certain amount of money, you understood you need to go to college. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And you understand I need to go into debt or do something to figure out how I'm going to pay for this because they're not going to give it to me. And you do all that just to get an opportunity to get out there and work.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that kind of input in man? You haven't even asked any women, hey, how do I get a husband? How do I get prepared for a husband? Because for the longest, you ladies have been told, just be a woman, and because you have a vagina, somebody will take you.
Yeah.
Now, do you ladies drop the price of vagina?
Oh, for sure.
This is why marriage is declining. This is why marriage is declining, because women today are not making a good case for average women becoming wives. Now, women who are truly high-value women who are dealing with the higher-value men, they're still moving in a traditional male-female gender way. But the other, 70 to 80%, that's where it is. So thank you for being honest, but if you want to be married.
No, I do. I really don't want to be out here. I don't want no city girl summer. I don't want none of that. No.
I get it.
That's not me.
So what are you going to do about it? I get what you don't want, but what are you going to do about it?
I have to prepare myself now, even more than I feel like I already know, just like I said, from what I've saw. But I will say this, it's very difficult when you are growing up. Like for me, I grew up with like a single mom, you know. So it is very difficult when you're growing up in that environment. My mom is very independent. So I always have been taught that. That's just something, that's just how me and my sister, that's just how we are.
I feel sympathetic. I feel sympathy for you young ladies, but here's the reality. Your mother grew up in a world where the men and women dated the people around them. You live in a world that's connected online.
Yep. And it's horrible. And it's horrible. It's horrible.
Well, it's horrible because I've said this before and I'll say it again. You ladies, you need to prepare for being a wife and to getting married and being a wife more than you prepare to be independent. More than you prepare for these jobs.
And that's why I've just really thought that mindset this year. Like really this year has set on me a lot.
Well, then if that's the case, then you need, if that's the case at 24,
yes, you
need to start sprinting towards that knowledge and information and doing whatever you got to take, because here's the reality. How long do you think if it were a course, if there were a place, if I could just snap my fingers and say there is wife school, how long do you think you would need to take before you graduated with a degree and being a competent wife? How long do you think?
I want to say 3 years.
Okay.
I want to say a good 3 years. Maybe
okay.
Maybe 2 if you already have.
I'm talking about you in particular, just you.
For me, I might need like an 8-month course.
Really?
You
got a recipe book? You got a recipe book?
Do I have a what?
You got a recipe book?
Recipe book? No. I have my grandma's recipe book, but I don't have like
that's
a
your
book from
grandma's.
the store.
So cooking is an entire year itself.
Yeah. Which I know how to do.
See, what I'm asking you is, can you be honest with your level of skills for being a wife?
Yeah.
And you said most women would need 3 years, but I don't need 8 months. And I don't buy that. I think you need just as much time as most women.
It's right now.
You need about 4 years. You need 4 years of work for the average woman. So that means
4 years.
You talking about preparing for a lifelong pursuit. What do you think? Do you think you being a wife and being a mother and all these things you can just learn on the weekend?
Right.
Women started learning this stuff at 4 and 5 years old. And they learned it all the way up until, for 10 plus years. So hold still, we're on the internet.
Oh no, I was just trying to charge my phone.
Okay, but my point is, look at what you say, 8 months. Again, you want to rush into it? No. If you're gonna go to the university and take 4 years, you think a man doesn't deserve that? See, you're not wanting to put the work in. You want to get to the part. When we're gonna get to the good part, you want to get already into it, do the on-the-job training. And the thing is, if it took 3 or 4 years, that means at 24 you wouldn't be ready until you was 27, 28. Wouldn't be ready to get out into the market to have the skills. That's a mindset to have. Where am I at? What kind of skills do I need? Where am I going to get the skills? Because I give you the benefit if I had the school and said the school was here. The school doesn't exist.
Right.
So now you're knowing what men are looking at. Because any man that would marry you would have to say, I'm living in the United States. If this doesn't work, 50+% divorce rate. Women are filing for divorce 80% of the time. You guys are wrecking your own homes. And when you notice when a divorce happens, man is losing his kids, his half the money, all kind of stuff. The family court system is still based upon women not working and going to school. Men are not trying to sign up for that with a woman who ain't even enrolled in class yet.
Right. No, I agree. But I also feel like with the schooling thing, I don't think it would just be 4 years, 3 years, whatever straight. I feel like that'd be something you're doing your whole marriage. So I feel like
but there's still basic knowledge.
There's basic,
just like you need basic knowledge in college. You need and this is what's sad, because as a woman, it's hard for you to conceptualize what's required because this stuff is supposed to have already been taught to you by the women.
Right.
So you really have no frame of reference to even you're like, well, I don't think it'll need that much. That's optimistic for you. But think about it from the men's standpoint. Would they want to make sure that you're qualified, overqualified, or underqualified? The way you're talking about it, people have to take a the way you're talking about it, men would have to take a shot because you'll probably be underqualified. Well, it doesn't work that way. And unless you plan on this has been good because I think that you ladies are starting to realize that, younger men, and you're looking at, what's the oldest man you've ever dated?
34.
How many kids do you want?
I want 2.
2.
Yeah.
Do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant?
I don't mind working, but I would like to spend more time at home when they're.
What percentage of the financial family load do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime? Out of 100%. Out of 100% of the family financial load for a lifetime, what percentage do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime?
Have to be. Oh.
Yeah.
40.
40. Okay, so almost half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, 40. I would not mind. I would not mind doing that.
Well, when I say have to be responsible, that means if you lose your job, the family's at risk.
Oh, okay.
See, like right now, as an adult, you have to be responsible for 100% of your financial load, right?
Right. Yes.
So if you drop down to 70%, your lifestyle would take a massive hit.
That's very true. Okay. Yeah.
So if you're responsible for 40%, you have to do that for a lifetime. You can't take a break. So what percentage of the financial family load do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime?
When you put it like that, like 15, 20.
Exactly.
But I thought you were saying.
So listen, time out. That's the thing. You ladies don't think of things this way. It's always variable with you. See, when it's you by yourself, I got to pay all my bills until I die.
Yeah.
But when you get with a man, then all of a sudden it's just supposed to work out. But you're really saying you want him to be responsible for 80% or more. That means you are still looking for a man who's making in excess of 6 figures a year for 2 kids and 2 adults.
Right.
10% of men make that. And what age is that man typically?
Definitely over 30.
What age are men hitting their financial stride?
40?
45 to 55. You prepared to marry a 45-year-old man?
I hope not, but I like him older.
See?
I like him older.
My point is, you ladies, you want the resources of an older man in the younger package and all these things you want.
I don't want him too young, though. I don't want him too young. Not young.
It doesn't matter either way. It doesn't matter. It's not about what you want. You're not qualified for any of them. That's the problem. Y'all always talk about what you don't want, and y'all aren't qualified for a young one or an old one.
Yeah.
You ladies are more entitled and delusional about relationships. And it doesn't mean you're coming from a negative place.
Right.
You're not coming from a negative place. This is just what you've been told.
Yeah, you don't see anything else. You gotta also understand the time, the influencers.
I know, but my point is, you've been told you could have it all. You've been told you could have it all. You've been told that somebody will always do it for you. And honestly, if you don't get married, what's the most money you anticipate making annually? What's your degree going to be in?
Human services.
What's the most money you plan on? What is really the most money you plan on making at the peak of your career?
That's a great question. I really don't even know.
Give me a ballpark.
Probably even 6 figures.
No.
Well, if I can get in that,
No. No.
80,000. I'm gonna say 80,000.
Nope, not human services. Doing what job?
Well, I have a minor in psych, so.
Doing what? Of course, psychology.
I'm not gonna lie, Kevin. I don't even know.
But ma'am, see, that's the thing. You ladies go to college and get all this debt. You don't know how much money. I don't know how much money I'm gonna make. I don't know how much money.
This is true.
So I'm asking you, at 6 figures. 4% of women make over 6 figures. 4. Human services with a minor in psych is a recipe for men. 80,000? No, ma'am. That's a science, engineering, technology, or math. That's no crossing your fingers.
Kevin.
But see, the thing is, this is a no luck. See, this is what I mean. I'm talking to you in a light way, but I'm being dead.
No, you're being serious. No, you're
because you ladies are just going through life is like it's a game or a joke. Like somebody's gonna fix it for you.
Yeah, no,
I know you're listen. No, I need you to be quiet and listen right now, seriously, because the numbers are coming out. Did you go to get student loan debt?
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay all that student loan debt. That means that comes off of your potential house that you can own.
Yeah.
And ma'am, human services, that's a recipe for about $40,000 to $60,000 a year. Middle class, not no six figures. That kind of money, you have to be rarefied. Yeah. So if you're making $50,000 a year, you can live comfortably on $1,000 a week. But guess what you cannot do? Retire. Because from 65 to 85, when retirement age happens, will you have your $2.4 million you will need? You will need $1 million cash to just live at a $50,000 a year lifestyle from 65 to 85. And the reason I'm doing all this is because you ladies have been just told to get out here and just la 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 la. I don't need to know the numbers. I need to know this. I need to know that. And the one thing that you do need to make sure you can live from this end of life to that end of life successfully is a man. And you're not qualified to get one of those. This is what your mothers have prepared you for. The world has prepared you to be in a trick bag. I'm not really ready to be a wife like my grandmother or my great-grandmother because I don't have those skills. I was not taught. I was taught how to be independent, which just means a middle-class worker. Mm-hmm. You know what happens to men who do that? They live in small apartments if they can, and they die alone. And if they're lucky. But we needed union jobs. You need two incomes to survive in this world for middle-class people. The men who can't do that end up on the street in the parks. And you're going to start seeing the group of women we're starting to see homeless women now. So, man, it's not even a matter of luxury. You're going to need a man or somebody to partner with to get from one end of life to another because you will not make over $100,000 a year. Really, it's going to take about $125,000 a year for you to live and retire comfortably.
Right. And it ain't just about the money. I want a man for the rest of my life. I just want to love on one man for the rest of my life. I
don't give a damn about love. See, and the thing is,
but I'm just saying,
but what I'm saying is, and I'm gonna tell you something. I need you to listen to this, the spirit in which I'm giving this.
Okay.
All the information I just gave you, mm-hmm. and you still going to the Disney young romantic fantasy of I just want somebody to love. What's love got to do with it? What can you pay? You can't pay a mortgage or grocery bills with love. You need competence.
Yeah.
That's what your grandmother and your great-grandmother had. That's what you guys don't. You're not as serious as they were. You got more education. You make more money, but you do less with it, and you're in a worse position. So this conversation is going to help somebody because they're going to realize, you know what? I'm a lot like her too. I just thought it was all going to work out. Mm-hmm. I didn't know I was anticipating a man making six figures. No. You don't want to be responsible for bills. See, what many women like you think or have been led to believe is I'll pay 100% of my own bills, but if I get a man, he's got to pay most of the bills because I can do bad all by myself. Instead of being, if you just said 40% and I want to be responsible for 40%, that's something you could have worked with. Because that means I'll get out here with an average or above average man, and I'm going to be an average or above average earning woman, and we can work together and have to build and work and find value in one another. But no, men are supposed to come by and be love and wallets and good sex and provide for everything, or else you ready to do it all on your own. I'm sorry that the world has left you ladies in this position. but it's a real position. And in our community, it's even worse because only 1 out of 4 were married.
Very
And
true.
we're just starting to see the 3 out of 4 who's strong, independent, don't need no man. My aunt died alone, and it was not pretty.
Yeah. That's
It was
what
not
I'm
pretty.
about my mom. I'm not gonna lie. My mom being single, it bothers me now because like I'm the baby, so I'm moving out of the house, and I'm ready to
The last
move.
time she had a man.
Oh, years. I'm talking like 5+ years. From the last time I've heard about a man, seen a man, it has been well over 5 years, and I'm 24. So
Okay, so what does your mother do for a living?
my mama works. She works at the post office.
Okay, so when your mother can no longer work at the post office,
Mm-hmm.
and she has nobody that she's worked with to build up any kind of savings or whatever, you gonna put your life on hold to take care of her until her dying day?
I'm gonna have to.
That means you're gonna end up. Then who's gonna do that for you?
Right.
See, there are no easy situations when you decide to be a single, independent woman out there.
Yeah, I know, and that's
somebody
why
has to pay.
Right.
So that means I'm gonna tell you right now, if you do have a husband, if he has any, be like, I'm not gonna go take care of your mama who's too. No, let her live her life. Cause what about your brother and your sister?
Well, see, they're older than me, so I mean,
Your mother made her choices.
Right. I'm for sure that my sister would definitely be hands-on with me. It would be me and her helping my mom 100%, because that's what we do with my grandma right now.
But your grandparents are married.
Yeah, but everybody's kind of like hands-on though, like all of my siblings. So we're hands-on with our grandparents. But yeah, I feel bad for me too. This is why I asked to join your live, because I'm at that point now. I'm seeing this is not fun.
Let me tell you something. You better get laser focused on what you want out of life and get real selfish. Because what you just said sounds noble, but it's bad all the way around.
It is.
Your mama has her business.
Yeah.
Because after your mother has done what, after you've taken that time away, who's gonna do that for you?
Right.
Because if you have a husband, he ain't gonna have that. And if you have, it's not how it's supposed to be. This is why relationships are so important. We have told today's people that relationships are variable. It don't matter. No, you need a relationship because you need 2 incomes.
Yeah.
You need 2 incomes to survive to the end of life. So take it as a bitter pill, but you ladies need to start doing the numbers. How much money can I truly make in my career? How much money does somebody who does what I do really make? Not the most optimistic, the average.
Mm-hmm.
And take that number and live with it. And if it's 50,000 or 60,000 or 40,000 or whatever it is, you need to own that and say, I cannot get to the end of my life on this. So guess what? Your attitude when you deal with a man will be a hell of a lot more tolerant.
Yeah.
Than a lot of women are walking around today because I don't need them, whatever. Because you're young.
But I will say this, one reason why we're doing that a lot, and I'm just going to speak for myself, but this is what I see from other women too. These men treat us horrible. And I'm talking like, it's getting to the point now, it's becoming very disrespectful.
What do you mean they treat you horrible?
Like just how they just like lie all the time, and they got this girl and that girl. And they want to come.
Hold on. You talking about your 7th grade boyfriend?
Oh my God, don't do that.
Well, you said you're going to only talk about you, so that's what I'm listening.
Oh, no. Well, I'm saying I was speaking for myself, although I've seen this from other women too.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, ma'am. Because I'm going to flip it on you.
Don't flip it.
Oh, I'm going to flip it on you because if you've been with this 7th grade dude, there have been plenty of other dudes who wanted to date you that you wouldn't give a time of day.
No, I have. So like I've been on and off.
Hold on. Every man that you meet is, see, you ladies talking this color purple, waiting to exhale stuff, and I'm going to dig. Every man you've dated has been a liar and a cheater and a manipulator.
No, not every man, but majority of them.
Okay, and then what about relationships are reflective, man. You're responsible for what you pick. Because there's not the only men that want to date you.
Yeah, but it's also
so the ones you pick are the ones you pick. It's not me. No, it's on you.
So
it would be no different than if men went out and said to all these women out here is a bunch of hoes, a bunch of thoughts, and a bunch of this. You'd say, well, that's you responsible for allowing that. If you allow bad treatment, why'd you go on another date?
I have, and that's the thing I have.
No. See, if it that's not true. Because you said in relationships, if it happens and it's bad treatment and it's below your standard, you don't go again. See, you've allowed this to happen. The reality is, ladies, you like the bad boy. You like the assholes, the liars, manipulators. Because I'm sorry, young lady, I've lived on the planet too long to where, and if you know her, get up in the comment section. All the guys who wanted to holler at you in high school that you wouldn't talk to. The guys who tried to holler at you in the yard, you weren't giving any time to because he corny, he this, he that. You pick.
Yeah.
You get to pick who you allow to be romantic with.
Yeah.
And who you allow to give your quote unquote feelings to. Because it doesn't just happen on date one.
Yeah, this is true.
So I'm sorry, I can't.
I would just say I'm not. I just feel like it's hard in general.
Yeah, it's called being a grown. It's called being a grown woman.
And I can't stand it. Oh, I'm so.
Well, then buy a dog. Well, you don't want to be a grown woman. Buy a dog, die alone. Because the funny thing is, you young ladies, I'm gonna introduce you to somebody that you young ladies. I'm gonna introduce you young ladies to something y'all should have heard a long time ago. You young ladies are really relatively weak when it comes to relationships and what it takes to get from one end of another. Study, young ladies. You learn your man while you earn your man. See, y'all have been told this all sunshine. While you talking, you should be listening. Y'all have been told it's sunshine and daffodils and that y'all are the prize. And you need to go back to the old school because these women have told y'all the formulas for the longest. And if you sit there and talk to your grandmother and your great-grandmother, you'd find out that your great-grandfather and your grandfather weren't saints either.
Oh, I know.
They had to do something. And instead of dick, you need to listen. I'm going to put an entire playlist of songs out there for you ladies to listen to or choose not to, because you don't get a 30, 40, or 50-year, 10-year, 20-year relationship without a man with no pain. You get no gain.
Listen, and I'm telling you though, I have been in this situation with this guy.
24.
I know. But let me tell you something too, because I really want to get your opinion. I know you're on like this subject, but I just really want to have a talk, like a moment with you really quick. So with that situation, I'm just going to bring it up. I was dating him very young. It started off very innocent. It was just on love, based on innocence and love. Of course, I was a virgin and everything, and I dated him. And then we reconnected, like we've been reconnecting over the years as I've gotten older. So things have changed from that situation. But I feel like in that relationship, are you hearing a song?
I'm listening because you're still acting like, I mean, you're still, come on.
I feel like in that relationship, I went through pain, but it wasn't, I still had a lot of healthy moments, and we still have a very healthy relationship. So.
What's the question?
The question is, Kevin, what should I do with this situation? Because.
I've already told you what to do. There's no situation here. You're trying to make something that ain't there. But you're young and hard-headed. You're going to sit there and make it.
What do you mean, though? There's no situation.
Those songs, woman to woman, you may have them for a minute, but that's my man. See, you're young.
Yeah.
And you got puppy love. And everything you've been telling me about men has been bad or hurtful or harmful. Ma'am, you get to pick. But you can't make a 7th grade boy be a 24-year-old man.
Yeah.
And the men out here, are you really ready and mature enough to deal with them like a woman? That's a question.
Yes, I have tried.
No.
My ex. I have tried with my older ex, yes. I did give that a chance.
This is, and the sad part is, unfortunately, this is for the older women to work out with the younger women. I'm bringing attention to it, but you young ladies have been left afloat by older women.
We have.
And that's why my biggest critics are the very women that left you afloat. They've left you uninformed, unlearned, because they realize that they equip you, you'll have a better life than they had, and they're going to show the holes and gaps. Your mother, honestly, if she decided to live her life by herself, and she told you, what has she told you? Don't be like me, get a husband, get somebody else.
She has told me that. She's actually said that through the years as I've gotten older. She used to not be that way.
You've gotten older.
She used to not be that way. Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you.
She has changed because she's actually admitted that she doesn't want to be alone now.
Exactly.
So
when did this start happening? Stop.
Yeah.
When did this start happening?
My mom doing that to me? I would say the past 2 years she's been really hard on me.
Listen.
About that.
And this is the unfortunate part. At 24 years old, the women of your grandmothers and great-grandmothers generation were far more mature, far more serious.
Yeah.
Your mothers and your aunts and they've left you in this position. It's not the men, it's the women. Titus chapter 2, verse 3 through 5. The older women are supposed to teach the younger women how to be mothers, wives, good stewards, temperament, and everything else. But now at 22, your mother finally starts telling you a truth that she should have been preparing you for at 10.
Yep, very true.
So now you are a modern woman, and you've gotten 22 years into this, and the last 2 years, you're like, well, damn, Mom, if I'd have known that, maybe I'd have picked differently or this or that.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a conversation for you ladies to have amongst yourselves. But it ain't about the men, who ain't this and who ain't that. Men are not perfect, but men are far more ready for relationships today than women are ready and qualified for. Because at the end of the day, if you get one, are you going to stay? Your older boyfriend, who ended the relationship, you and him?
Me.
Exactly. Thank you. No pain, no gain. No retention. All acquisition, no retention. Well, I'm gonna tell you something, young lady. You may be really nice, but I bet you're a handful. And
you said I'm what?
I bet you're a handful. You may be
I'm
nice.
Really not. I'm not.
Listen, because I read people pretty well.
Okay.
I would bet you're a handful when you're ready to be. And the net of it is pretty and cute does run out.
Of course. Always. Well,
but
I agree with that.
You say that, but you and
the
problem is the older we were talking. So you've done that several times. That's why I said
I apologize.
I know. That's why I said I know you're probably a handful. And I'm telling you right now, the older women have not prepared you for when that runs out because they are still coming to terms with the mistakes they've made.
Sure are.
Don't be like them. Don't be like them because there is no wife school. It's not for the men to change. It's for you ladies to actually recognize I got to put work in to become a woman that a man needs to retain, not a girl he just needs to hook up with.
Yeah.
Because without that, so a lot of women get mad at me when I talk about all kind of things, but at the end of the day, you're talking about men don't cheat the exercise option, this and that. I'm talking about what it takes to be in a long-term relationship. And far more often than anything else, you ladies are taught how to leave.
Very true.
That's not going to work. So appreciate you calling in.
Can I ask you one question before I go?
Oh my goodness, go ahead.
I know, we've been having a great conversation. I'm really enjoying you. And the next song you should play is Diana Ross, Upside Down, because that is my jam, okay?
Has nothing to do with the topic.
I know. But anyway, before I leave, do you have like any advice for me? Because you're telling me like what the women should have taught us and this and that. But could you give me at least like 5 solid things that I can do or work towards for a man? Can you give me that?
Yeah. Sex, sandwich, silence.
Sex, sandwich, and silence. Those are 3.
Yep.
You give me 2 more?
Yeah. Silence and silence.
Really? Because I feel like when I'm silent, that don't work. Because one time
You don't
they
have a
was telling
man.
me.
See. You ask me.
I know. Okay.
You ask me, and I tell you, men want sex, sandwich, and silence. You need to be a place of peace, not an annoyance, not a we get silence.
Okay.
Silence.
I like
said
them
more
three.
silence.
I
I didn't say more sex. I didn't say more sandwich. I said more silence.
Okay.
And another thing, say yes.
My mom just taught me that. That's so crazy you said that. I used to be very no. My mom just told me to be more yes. When a guy asks me want to hang out, when a guy...
You can't make this shit up.
This is so crazy, Kevin.
You
Because
cannot
my
make
mom
this.
just
This is why I
taught
told
me
you
this.
silence. This is why I told you silence. You can't make it up.
Oh my goodness.
You cannot make this shit up. Silence. Because y'all think it's being cute. And y'all think it's funny when you're getting back and forth in arguments and sasses. Men don't want to deal with you. That's why men die earlier, because stress levels. Men want peace. And if you can't say yes, buy a dog and die alone. Because guess what? Becky, Marisol, Mylene, I knew they know how to say yes.
They sure do.
And they are coming after your college-educated black men.
They are.
Because y'all are leaving them on the ground. Because they're corny, they're goofy, and they're lame. And because you don't know how to sex sandwich silence and say yes and be peaceful. Your choice, though. No pain, no gain.
Night.
No pain, no gain.
It's a